Okay, fabulous. So I think that we are on. I'm really excited to be with you tonight. And yeah, looking forward to exploring about the heart system and your ability to live really big and bold from your heart. So we got half an hour to share, and I would love to see, let me find these comments as they're coming in. I would love you to be able to ask questions about the heart. So I'm aware that some of you are familiars here in these Facebook Lives and some of you are new to it. So pretty much I'm going to talk for a while about the heart system energetically, how it is the primary system in your body, and I really want to share some ways that you can support that system so that you can live that easy, bold life. But this is also a place for you to ask your questions, so that if I'm saying anything that's popping up for you, then please ask your questions about the heart. Let's stay on topic, but anything that's related to you living big and bold in your life or about the heart system. So I'm seeing so many of you popping up here. That's fabulous. Hello, hello, hello. Uh, Thank you. Claire, you're mentioning my hair. It's because by now, like, this coronavirus hair has become a massive mop on top of my head, so it needs some taming. All right, brilliant. Well, we're going to start because there's so much to say about the heart. One of the things that's really important is that the heart is the rhythm keeper of your entire body. And that's not just energetically, that's physiologically as well. You know yourself the times when your heart is racing for whatever reason. Maybe it's wonderful reason, a big excitement. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's nerves, maybe it's something you've eaten or being exposed to computers for far too long. Whatever it is, when your heart really starts racing, then your physiology changes, your chemistry in your body changes. Your body follows the rhythm of the heart. And at other times, when your heart is beating that beautiful rhythmic beat, it means that your body is also moving to that rhythmic beat. So it's not something that we don't often think much about, but the actual rhythm of your body. Sometimes I'll ask the question, if your body, if all of your amazing orchestra right now, which is your body, all playing, all of your organs, your blood, all of your systems physiologically and your systems energetically, think of them as being a vast orchestra, and each one plays a slightly different tune on a slightly different instrument, but when you put them all together, you have this amazing orchestra. Now, if you've gone and listened to orchestras at times, you'll know that when they're warming up, then it's just a cacophony of noise. Yeah, there's no specific tune or rhythm that's coming forth. But once that conductor gets in and she or he starts bringing coherence into the orchestra, then you have any tune you desire, any tune that comes from within you. So the really important piece there is the conductor. Yeah, it's the conductor that can bring the harmony, the coherence in, bring that sort of a pathway for all of your other beautiful parts of your body and energy orchestra to sing to. And that's what the heart is. The heart is the conductor of your entire body. Everything about your physical rhythm and your energy system responds to the heart. So, thinking of heart, one of the things that becomes really important is conductivity in your system. The heart is very, very electrical. And that means that your amazing array of cells, like little batteries, every single one of the many, many trillion of them, and they all have to line up. So you can really visualize your cells in your body as little batteries that all need to be in alignment. And that's not just physical alignment, that's energetic, electrical alignment. the north side, if you think of little north poles and your whole body carries this amazing electrical energy, then those batteries of your cells have to be lined up in a way that brings that electrical coherence. So in order to do that, you need water in your body. You need to be hydrated. So I'm going to have a drink. Maybe right now you get a drink as well. Because water for heart health, for heart being able to be that amazing conductor of your body, then water is really, really important. I could do a Facebook Live just on what happens energetically when you don't have enough fluid in your body. So when you're not conducting well. Generally, if I'm talking about water, then people will come up with questions. What about tea? What about coffee? What about water with lemon in it? What about? Essentially, it has to be something that hydrates you. And you're going to know whether it hydrates you or not by being well hydrated. So, for example, I would suggest for your beautiful big heart health, you want to be drinking, depending on the climate that you live in, you want to be drinking at least 8 cups of water a day. And by that, I mean water. Doesn't matter if it's water in tea or water in lemonade. I mean just water. Give your body the fluid it needs so that your heart has an easier job of really being that conductor of all of the rhythms. If you imagine that without the hydration in your body, then instead of these beautiful batteries all lining up in your cells, you get, well, I was going to say you get disarray. You get even worse than that energetically, actually, because you get congestion. You get lumps of electrical pockets happening in your energy system. And that means, you imagine that great big orchestra, it means that half of them or a quarter of them, however many there are, aren't able to operate anymore. They're not able to conduct that music, that tune, that energy through your body. So it really is a case when we're talking about heart, when we're talking about health in general, that's physical health and emotional health, then water intake is always one of the absolutes to start with. So yeah, make sure you've got some good hydration here. So maybe I'm going to talk for a little bit more before we look at the first questions that are coming in. So we've got this heart in its beautiful big rhythm. What that heart needs, one, we talked about water, but it also needs to be able to move in its connective way. It needs a lot of your other energy systems to really hold and support it. When your heart is in its balance, then it means you move through your life easily. My little cat is sneezing over there. It means that you move through your life without too much effort. That would be a definition of mine as to when your heart is in its fullness. And that's why I call this living big, living bold. It means when your heart is in its fullness, it doesn't take a lot of courage. And that's a really big gift. Of course, there are days, there are experiences in life that demand courage from us, that invite and ask courage. But generally, we've all experienced, I hope, those times when it's not about courage. It's not about mustering your energy together. You can step out into your day and feel that place of ease. Now, that's a time when your heart is really able to be taking its place in your energy system, because it's very likely that we've all experienced the opposite as well, when actually there's a flip and we might use the word disheartened. I feel really disheartened today. The situation at work is leaving me disheartened. That means that the heart, literally, if we take the word apart, disheartened, that the heart has gone, the heart has been taken from the system, it's been taken from the situation and left you in that place of, well, if you've ever felt disheartened, then you know it's that place of just kind of collapse, when you feel, oh, everything is an effort from that point. Even getting out of bed can be an effort at that point. So that big difference, we don't really have a opposite of that word, I don't think. If you know one, then pop it in the comments for me. But that place of being disheartened as opposed to being full of heart, yeah, we could say it that way. But when the heart is taking its place in the system, that boldness, that ease comes very, very naturally. It's the place of being able to be spontaneous and experience joy, joy in the small things, joy in the big things. It's the place of actively recognizing and looking for joy as well. For me, that's often the difference. When a heart system is strong in somebody, then they're looking to experience joy. They expect to experience joy. And that is the opposite of disheartened, isn't it? When you're disheartened or dispirited, that would be another word there. Everything looks a little more gloomy. It's that place of the glass being half empty. But when you're in that place when actually you're expecting the universe to meet you, you're expecting conversations to go well. And of course, when we come in with that kind of solidity and flow in the energy system, it's so much easier to maintain that perspective as you move through your day. Maybe you have the trust and the faith and the joy in a conversation that's coming up. You experience it. It ends up being quite a difficult conversation, but you still navigate it with that trust and joy. Conversely, you come to a conversation, you already feel depleted or a bit disheartened. And even if the conversation isn't as challenging, you come out of it feeling more challenged. Yeah. So you understand what I'm saying, that the place that the heart takes in the system determines just about everything of how you experience life. All right, I know that there are some questions here, so let me have a little look. Yeah, so some of you are asking about supporting heart rhythm disorders such as tachycardia. Is energy work effective for this? Also, how does metal in and around the heart affect this? All right, so two different questions, and I'm going to take them differently there. So, heart rhythms, is energy work effective for this? Absolutely, and I have a very, very expressive heart that has no set rhythm whatsoever. I was born with a heart murmur and have had various heart issues in my life. So this is a topic that's really, really close to my heart. And I would say that energy medicine is amazingly effective because it's all about being able to bring in those subtle, beautiful changes to your energy system to support your heart in all of its needs. So let me show you a couple of things here because I want us to have a look. And this is when something is going on physically with the heart, then it's because something is going on energetically with the heart. And that's true with every part of your physiology. So for something to show up physically, it's already been in your energy fields, in your energy systems for quite a while. What do I mean by that? Maybe only a few weeks, maybe several years. So patterns come in through your subtle, your quickest energy first. They begin to settle, they begin to settle, they begin to settle, they get closer and closer and closer to the body, and eventually they affect the physiology, not the other way around. So then with something like irregular heartbeats, then that is all held in your energy fields. So working your energy really stabilizes the heart. One of the first things to say if you are working with tachycardia or anything like that is the importance of being grounded. Now, there's a few Facebook Lives I've already done on being grounded. So if that doesn't mean much to you, if you're looking for more information about it, then go and look at those. As I've also got several blogs on being grounded and YouTube videos. Many of them are on groundedness because without that ability for your electromagnetic energy to come into coherence, then really everything else that you're working with is secondary. It has to be the foundational part for your health. It would be a bit like me saying to you, okay, go for a walk or go for a run, but actually I'm just going to remove your feet. Like, you can't do it. It's a fundamental part of your energetic needs, is that your energy is connecting into the earth beneath your feet and connecting into the area above your head. You are not separate. You're this amazing flow of energy. So groundedness is essential. But from that place, there is so much that you can do. One of my favorite exercises, what can you see of me? One of my favorite exercises to really stabilize heart palpitations, irregular hearts, heart murmurs, anything like that. Your heart meridian, yes, so the energy channel that really flows, it governs the whole organ system. So it's affected by the heart and it affects the heart. All of our meridian system has an interrelational aspect with the organ. So the heart meridian, let's trace it forward. You can put your hand in your armpit and just move all the way down that sort of bottom edge of your arm and squeeze your little finger as you go. Okay, so I'm just giving my little finger either side a squeeze as I come off. Let's do that again. Armpit, bottom edge of the arm, squeezing the little finger, and let's do it one more time. Just this is amazing for supporting your heart. Anytime, let's do the other side. Anytime you feel emotional, anytime you just feel like, oh, my energy just bottomed out, I am wiped suddenly, then that's often the heart just kind of leaving the system. That's how I see it. So let's do 3 times. Really great, beautiful thing to trace from the armpit down off the little finger. Don't trace it the other way because actually that can negatively affect heart energy, but just to move it forward however many times you want. If I've been, let's say I've been working on computer screens a lot and I feel that my heart energy is beginning to destabilize, that will be one of the first things I do, just to really bring that forward. But one of the points on the heart meridian is this place. If you've got a crease, and all of you will, I think, I've never met anyone without a crease in the top part of their palm, then if you fold your fingers over as tight as you can, it's very likely that your little finger will curl over onto that crease, which is kind of below the little finger, but maybe slightly more between the little finger and the ring finger. So as you curl it over, you come to a really, really powerful point in the heart meridian. And I'm going to encourage you just to massage it. And you can massage it quite deeply. For some of you, it will feel a bit of a burning, almost electrical feeling here. If you feel nothing at all, that's fine too. Just keep going. When you feel nothing at all in a powerful point like this, it means that it's kind of got a bit stagnant, a bit congested, like there's a little kind of cap on its energy, and you want this energy to be really flowing well. Now, this point right now, I'm obviously holding up and showing you, but I could have my hands resting on my lap. I could be sitting in a meeting, I could be in a coffee shop, I could, well, maybe not right now, I could be on a bus. This is a point that you can hold or massage at any point. And if I'm going to be holding it, I'm going to use my middle finger. And I'm just going to tuck into this. Your middle finger has a lot of fire energy, and the heart lives within the fire system of your body. Think of people who have, you would think of them as having big hearts. They're often joyous people, spontaneous people. They like laughing. And that puts heart very much in the realm of fire in our elemental system. So this is a beautiful way to be deeply supporting your heart energy. Doesn't matter if that's physical or emotional. And of course, you can do it both sides, yeah? In fact, if you've done one, just do the other one, just to really see and feel if this is any different. For me, this side, which is the right side, is just a little bit flatter than the left. I think I've worked the left a few times today already, and this right one maybe only once. So it just feels a little bit tighter. So I'm going to give it some lovely nurturing as I rub it here. All right. what was that second question? How does metal in and around the heart affect it? It really depends. I have seen metals such as pacemakers in and around the heart. And is that what you mean, first of all? I almost feel, Mary Lynn, I feel like I need more. Are you talking about metal as in jewelry or armor or something like that? Or are you talking about it inside the body? I'm going to answer it as if it's inside the body, and then we can readjust if that's not what you mean. I've seen, let's say, pins in the body, pins in the arm, things like that, that really have no effect whatsoever on the heart. The body system is amazing at assimilating and integrating anything that needs to come into your body for medical reasons. And at the same time, I've seen the body really reject it and the heart get very influenced by things. So it depends on your body's ability to weave systems through and around whatever is foreign on your body. And one of the very, very best ways that you can encourage that weaving is by activating the figure eight system, the interconnective system that really holds and informs everything about your energy system. So in that situation, I would be doing lots and lots of quite slow figure eights over the heart. So you could imagine that there was an 8 and it could be in any direction whatsoever, and you're simply going to use your hand to trace that 8. Beautiful, beautiful. The heart has a huge wisdom to it. Yeah, really, it's a system. The whole heart field is very connected to consciousness, to the desires of your soul. There's so much that happens in that heart field. And so by bringing slow figure eights in, it's amazing for helping your heart system embrace and integrate anything that needs integrating. Let's see. All right, let's have a little drink. So this is an awesome question. Sometimes I'm in a joyful situation, which I associate with the heart, absolutely. And rather than connecting with that feeling of joy, you feel overwhelmed and anxious. What's happening here? That, first of all, I'm going to say that's very common. And it's that place of when the heart, I'm guessing, now I don't have the name of who wrote that naming, maybe as you're sending me these questions, make sure you put the name in as well. But I'm guessing whoever it is that just wrote that comment, that you have a massive heart field. Yeah, that actually you hold huge joy, huge compassion, huge love. And that when it really rises for you, it does so in a way that's slightly ungrounding, yeah? So, and that's really common for big heart people, really common, especially if you've got a lot of this kind of fieriness in you. But not everybody who has that big heart system does. So I don't want us to necessarily equate that. You can be someone who can really experience that beauty of the world, compassion for other people, without it being sort of a massive bubbling joy. It can be very deep. It's that place where the heart and the soul are so connected. So when there's a big movement in the heart field, it needs to be able to stabilize down as well as come up. So let me think of an analogy here. Thinking of a child, and when a child gets really excited, yeah, they're so happy that they get really, really excited. By the time we come into our older, our adult stage, we've kind of learned that we should also kind of be a bit grounded or normal in our excitement. But kids don't have that, so they explode up, wow, and they really get super excited. And when that happens, you can see how some children, it gets excited, it gets all big, but they still hold their safety. And some children, it gets exciting and it gets completely overwhelming. a lot of that is to do with that place of the heart settling deep in the system and kind of expanding out in fullness rather than expanding up in fullness. So it comes back to grounding, it comes back to that place of being deeply rooted so that when the heart has that big expansion of joy or happiness, it doesn't feel overwhelming. You might still cry, but tears and the heart are very, very closely linked. That water of life, when we think of water as a source, we're all born in water. We're all grown in the water of life. And that water of life really has a deep connection with the heart. So when heart has movement, often we'll have tears. And when we can find peace with that, then the tears are an easy way. It's just the water of life that's really coming out of your body. Okay. Marilyn, you have replied to say that you have a device to stop clotting. Yeah, and also something called a loop recorder too. Absolutely. So Marilyn, what I'd really suggest with that is exactly what I said, those beautiful slow figure eights and probably off the body a bit, yeah, not directly on the skin. You might find you're going to play with it. You're just going to play with it and see, does it feel better if you put your heart, everybody's heart field is at least your arm's length. If you put your arm right out, I can't see on this camera, but if I put my arm right out, then my heart field is bigger than that arm's length at this point, and that would be really, really normal. So sometimes when you're working with things like metal around the heart, and actually when you're working with the heart in any way, yeah, so if you experience heaviness in the heart, tiredness in the heart, you're feeling disheartened, then one of the really simple ways to work is with those figure eights. But I would advise you to start quite way off the body and just to begin to weave. And you can get closer and closer and be really asking your perception, tuning in to where does it feel the best? Is it really close? Is it right out? Does it vary depending on how you're feeling? That's a really lovely way to work with the heart field. My goodness, time is screaming away today. What else? So I've shown you this point, heart 8, and this point, I'd be interested for those of you who are experiencing heart challenges, whether that's physical, emotional, or both, working with this point, even just holding it with that middle finger between the hours of 11 and 1 in the daytime, so 11 in the morning through to 1 in the afternoon. If you can get this point active and nurtured during that time, it sort of sets an anchor into your heart system to really stay strong and stable for the next 24 hours. So that's a really magical point in that heart system. Another way that I want to show you, because it's so simple and it's so powerful, is if you literally take your little finger and just embrace it with your hand. So you're going to literally just, how can I show you here? I'm just curling my hand around that little finger, and you would just, again, you can have your hands on your lap, you can be doing whatever you're doing, sitting, watching television, and just hold that little finger. It begins to send energy into your heart system, which helps your heart really take its place as that conductor, and from then on everything gets called into coherence, called into its natural way of being. Remember, when we work with heart, we don't just work with heart, because heart conducts everything else. All right. Lala's asking, does massaging the heart point help with stress? Yes, for exactly that reason. It puts that foundational place into your system. There are many other ways I would be working with stress as well, dependent on what the stress is. But anything you do with the heart helps everything. It really is it's very simple to say that. There's not a lot I can say that about with the energy systems, but when you stabilize heart, you stabilize everything. And remember that your energy is designed to be cohesive. You are designed to move in patterns that know how to be healthy. And anything else that's come in because of your history, because of your genetics, because of your anything else, then actually they're just habits. They're like little software glitches in this amazing program of your energy system. So bringing the heart on board, getting the heart to begin to wave its baton in a way that means that all of the orchestra of your body begins to move together. It's amazing at what that can shift, change, create, transform. I worked in private practice for 20 years and I never worked with somebody without really assessing and balancing the heart system. It's that important. All right, I know we're nearly out of time. I want to give you one other thing do I want to give you most? Well, I'm going to give you the exercise that just brings, if you're feeling disheartened, if you're feeling like you're losing your confidence in something, you're losing your confidence in yourself, life just takes too much courage, those times, then the heart hug remains an amazing, amazing way. And that would be to cross your hands over your chest, tuck your fingers into your armpits, and you can just allow your thumbs to rest on your chest. And from here, you just tuck in. So it's a place of beginning to invite your body to relax. And sometimes, especially if you're coming to this because you really feel rotten, then your body won't relax, and that's totally fine. Yeah, you can just hold this system. You're holding the heart system. You're really stabilizing and boosting its coherence. And it always helps to bring in a rock. And it may be a rock side to side. It may be a rock forward and backwards. But it's a beautiful way because you're moving in a rhythm. Yeah. And so that calls the rhythm of the heart into being. And from here, you can bring your attention to your breath. And as you breathe more into your whole chest area, invite those muscles of the back to relax, because of course when you breathe in your chest, then you expand not just up and down, but sideways and backwards. Your whole rib cage, front and back, expands. So that stretches the muscles of your back. You can invite your shoulders to relax, your forehead, your neck. Maybe you can drop your chin a little bit. This is a beautiful one to do before you go to bed. If you're not a great sleeper, if you've had a stressful day, then just sit on the edge of your bed, spend maybe 2 minutes, yeah? A few breaths, just rocking as you hold this position, and then you can tuck into bed, keep your hands folded over your chest, and that will generally set you up for a deeply restorative sleep. All right, I'm going to answer this one last question because it is a beautiful one. Claire, you're asking, can you have a gentle heart and a strong heart? And I would say that very simple answer to that is absolutely. Bigger answer to that is your heart can only be strong when it's gentle. Gentleness is the definition of strength when it comes to the heart. So a heart that can experience compassion and compassion for yourself as well as others, that's a gentle heart, and that's a strong heart. A heart that can be vulnerable, a heart that has known pain and still chooses to engage in relationships, that's a beautifully powerful heart, powerful in its gentleness. So I love that you asked that question. It reminds me of the heart of a deer. Yeah, that beautiful strength, gentleness, and grace. And that is when we're able to find that place in our heart system, then the heart doesn't just come into its cohesion, it moves with a radiance. It's like the song lines of your body activate and begin to sing this gentleness, sing this joy, this beautiful compassion for life, compassion for you as a soul alive at this time. It begins to sing that through your entire system, and that is one of the biggest contagious energies there is. Children can find the peace when they're in the energy field of someone who has that kind of gentle strength. Adults find the peace. You can come from a high stress level and be with someone who is really singing that tune of gentle strength in their heart system, and we all move away transformed. Beautiful. Well, a few minutes over, forgive me for that, but I thank you very, very much for joining me. And I've written a lot about heart because, one, it's been something that I've really had to learn in my own system, but also because it is so key to living every part of the fullness of life that you're here to live. So my blog, pruneharris.com, has got a lot of exercises and writings about heart. All right, much love to all of you, and I hope that your heart has been blessed and feels supported by learning these techniques of support. All right, bye-bye.